Alright, in this video, I'm going to teach you how to copy and paste using Control C and Control V. Let's start with what this means. Control C stands for copy, with Control V standing for paste. In World War II, the British copied Germans' tactics primarily in psychological warfare and intelligence, using propaganda, leaflets, and deceptive communication to undermine German morale and fighting capabilities. They also copied similar total war measures, including widespread propaganda posters for the home front. Another thing is that when the world was being created, humans evolved from monkeys, making them a basic copy and paste of monkeys, which could also demonstrate how the monkeys were primarily the reason for World War II. If you go back far enough, there's the realization that the planet was created by a bunch of rocks smashing together, making it so that the rocks are copying each other, then basically pasting them twice. Larry Tesla, a computer scientist at the Xerox Palo Alto Research Center, or PARC for short, invented the cut, copy, and paste command in the 1970s alongside colleague Tim Mott. Inspired by the physical editing method of cutting and gluing text, Tesla created this function to streamline word processing, which was later popularized by Apple in 1983. This also shows how Apple is an evil company, stealing and over-popularizing features such as copy and pasting. This could eventually lead to World War III, as AI is taking over jobs, but could go wrong and copy and paste information, therefore plagiarizing it. But since it is AI, there is no way to punish or sentence it, which would leave multiple sides for AI and against AI, with the many sub-agreements and sub-disagreements. If you click and hold over a piece of text, it selects. Bill Atkinson and the Apple team implemented click and drag to replace the dedicated move buttons found on the earlier experimental mice. One reason could be because in the past, it was tedious to always just use the move buttons for selecting a small piece of text. Once you select the text, you then hold Control. Holding down a key symbolizes the fact that you are abusing the key, which could lead to a war over keyboard abuse, as even though it may be an inanimate object, it may still have feelings. When holding down Control, press C, as that will finish the copying. After pressing the keys, the information you previously copied will materialize instantly. This is the paste. In a digital sense, you have just summoned a ghost of the original data. The mechanical ritual. To achieve this, you must engage in a coordinated physical maneuver. You begin by applying firm, steady pressure to the Control key, located at the bottom left or bottom right of your keyboard. And while that key is held captive, you strike the V once more, with the precision of a lightning bolt hitting a clock tower. The act of pasting is essentially a breach in the space-time continuum of your document. By using Control plus V, you are forcing the computer to recall a memory from its short-term clipboard and project it into the present. This is remarkably similar to how the Library of Alexandria was burned. The information was cut from the physical world, but because there was no paste function in 48 BC, the data was lost to the void. If the library had possessed a paste command, the Middle Ages would have been skipped entirely, and we would currently be using steam-powered AI to colonize Mars. Instead, we are here, stuck pressing V and hoping the formatting doesn't break. The biological plagiarism. If you look into the structure of DNA, it is nothing more than a series of biological copy-paste commands. Every time a cell divides, it performs a Control-C on your genetic code and a Control-V into the new cell. However, much like a cheap printer, this process occasionally glitches. These pasting errors are known as mutations. Evolution is a billion years of accidental control plus V strikes that eventually grew legs and started paying taxes. This implies that the entirety of human history, including the Cold War, was just a massive formatting error. The Soviet Union and United States were essentially two different versions of the same pasted industrial ideology, fighting over which font style should be used for the global economy. The looming paste apocalypse. As we move to a future dominated by AI, the paste command becomes a weapon of mass destruction. If an AI copies a thought from a human and a human copies it back from AI, we enter a feedback loop. Eventually, the entire internet will be a single, infinite string of pasted text, repeating the same three sentences until the servers overheat and melt into a puddle of silicon. This is the true reason for the rising global temperatures. It isn't carbon, it's the friction caused by billions of people hitting Control V at the same time, dragging the weight of redundant data across the surface of the internet. And that's how you copy and paste something using the Control C and Control V keys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.